Okay, how to fix your credit in 2025. Just stay focused, like and subscribe. But how to fix your credit in 2025. This is important. Obviously, the most important thing. I've already talked about it. Go watch my other videos if you don't understand why this is so fucking important to fix your goddamn credit in 2025. Fix your credit. I told you I was gonna put it on the T-shirt. I'm working on it. It's really, 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 really important. And obviously, if I'm gonna be preaching, yo, fix your credit, the least I can do is kind of give y'all some pointers, some tips, or just tell y'all flat out how to fix it, which is what I plan to do. Now, credit is kind of it's not complicated, but it's a lot of information, so I can't go into super detail about anything. But if people comment, if people want a specific thing expounded upon, if there's a certain thing, oh, tell me more about payment history or inquiries or this or that or that or that, or that. Like, cool, I can do that. But this is gonna be, hey, what's up with your credit, how to fix it, that type of thing. Anyway, so if your credit score is low or bad or just under 700, right? Let's say under 680, because if you can get to 680, you can move and shake for real. Like I said in my other video, with the first Infinite Money Glitch video, I believe. If you can get mid credit, mid 600s, like you can definitely do some things. If you can get to high 600s, low 700s, then you're cooking, bro. If you get to 750, you can do literally anything with credit. Literally anything. Like, I'm not bullshitting you. You can do literally anything. Um, but if your score is lower than that, like 400, 500, low 600s, and you're like, damn, man, how do I fix my credit? Well, if you have a low credit score, a lot of people obsess over the credit score, and like, it's cool, you should know your credit score, that like it means something, but it doesn't. Your credit score is a reflection of your credit report. So if you have a really good credit report, that'll trump having a really good score. So like I mentioned this in the other video, please go watch the Infinite Money Glitch video. It's a lot of good information in that. But anyway, if you let's just go by the score because it's an easier metric, and a lot of y'all don't understand credit profiles yet, which is fine. We'll get there. But if your credit score is, let's say, 400, 500, the low 600s, like 605, 610, you can't really get approved for shit, like, or they'll want you to do like a secure card or a secure loan or anything like that. If your score is that low, you need to know why your score is that low. If it's 405, whatever, it's low for a reason. And something a lot of people don't know, like I'm sure some people have heard the term bad credit, no credit is bad credit. Like I'm sure people have heard that, but I don't know if y'all understand that. Like when you don't have credit, let's say you've never taken out a loan, never had a credit card, you don't owe anybody money, you have no debt. That's great, but your credit score is generated off of a credit profile. So your credit profile is empty. You don't have anything on the. It's like a report card with no grades. Like you have to play the game. You have to have credit to have a good score. So in order to have a high credit score, you have to have taken out a loan. Now there are some people who are like, I've never had a credit card before, and I have a great credit score. It's like, well, have you had a car before? Have you been paying off a car note for 2, 3, 4 years? A lot of y'all don't understand that a car note is a loan. That's debt. Like it's so funny because people will tell you don't take out credit cards, don't get in credit card debt, don't take out loans, but those same people will tell you to get a car, go to this dealership, and a car is just a big ass loan. It's a big ass debt. It's literally called an auto loan. You're literally financing the loan. The car cost 30 grand. Somebody fronted you the money and you're paying it back monthly. That's literally what a loan is. But you've just been brainwashed to think that's normal, but getting a $30,000 credit card is bad. But a $30,000 car, great. Like it's stupid. It's actually ass backwards. You've been brainwashed, but it's okay. The aliens sent me here to help you out. If this is your first time here, enjoy the view. It looks nice, peaceful, futuristic. I want you to be calm. I want you to be focused and thinking about your future, my future. I want it to look like that. Anyway, back to credit. So you need to know why your score is bad. In order to understand why your score is bad, you need to know how credit scores are calculated. And a lot of people don't know this. And it's not like rocket science. It's not some crazy secret type of info, but it's just important to know like how your credit score is calculated, because once you realize that, you can go, oh, all I had to do is that. So I'm gonna give y'all a little hold on, give me one sec. Boom. I'm gonna give y'all a little insight. So here's our credit score is calculated, right? There's a bunch of different pictures. They all say generally the same thing. That's how FICO score is calculated. Now there are tons of different credit scores. There's Vantage Score. FICO is the main scoring model that matters. So like your Credit Karma score is similar to a FICO score, but it's not a FICO score. So your Credit Karma score will usually be a little boosted. Sometimes it's different, it's lower or the same. But usually your Credit Karma score is a little higher than your actual FICO score. The actual FICO score is a score that the credit bureaus, or not credit bureaus, that the companies, credit card companies, car dealerships, when they pull your credit, when they hard pull, it's actually called an inquiry. They're inquiring, or you're inquiring, to get credit or get money or whatever. So it's an inquiry. They need to look into your credit. It's a hard pull. If you ever hear soft pull, it means they like glance over it, but they don't really hard pull it, so it doesn't mean anything. Soft pulls are fine. They don't hurt you. Hard pulls are documented. Hard pulls are noted. So it's important to know that you only want to get hard pulls once every 3 months. Or like, if you do, we're not going to get into that method, but you just think of it like this way. You want a hard pull once every 3 months. If you just got a hard pull, you want to wait 3 months, and then they won't really give a shit about it. And after 2 years, hard pulls disappear. So anyway, how your credit score is calculated. We'll look at it a couple of times. It's the same thing. Amounts owed is 30%. Payment history is 35%. New credit 10%. Credit history 15%. Credit mix 10%. Right. And then we can go to, I like this picture because I'm familiar with this one. Same thing. Amounts owed. Payment history. Right. You get the idea. Right. Um, it's all of it is the same thing, right? Sometimes it's stated differently. So I was trying to find one where it kind of says it. Here we go. Here's one. Payment history, credit mix, new credit, link to credit, credit utilization, right? So it usually says amounts owed. Sometimes it says credit utilization. But we'll start with payment history because this is the most important thing out of everything with credit. Payment history, pay everything on time, don't miss a payment. Once you start getting credit cards, you'll have money on those cards. You gotta just make the payment. You should pay off your entire balance every month, pay off everything you owe. But if you can't, at least make the minimum payment. At least, if you're only making the minimum payments forever, you're gonna get caught in the interest trap. You don't want to do that. But you gotta make some payment. You have to. You have to. You have to. You can't miss a payment. You miss one payment, you're fucked. You miss one payment, it can drop your score 50 points, 100 points. Like missing one payment is really, really bad because this whole credit system is based on them lending you money and you paying it back on time. Again, you don't got to pay it all back, but you got to pay back, whatever the minimum is or whatever the situation is. Or do your research. Find the cards with 0% APR for a year, and then, you have a little more wiggle room. But that's payment history. You'll see a little bit more later. Credit utilization or amounts owed. So here's the thing a lot of people don't understand. You have to have credit cards to have a high credit score. So if you don't have any credit cards, you can't have utilization or amounts owed, right? Utilization is just usage. It's how much of your credit card limit you're using. So if you're not using a credit card, you get what I'm saying? It doesn't generate, it doesn't populate. So you're missing a shit ton of points just by never having a credit card. Literally just getting a credit card and not using a ton of it is going to help your score. And the cool thing about utilization is if you ever run it up too high and then your score drops, just make sure your score is lower on the statement date next month, and it'll go right back up. So utilization is how much of your total credit limit you're using. Some people will say you want to keep utilization under 30%, under 20%. You want to keep it under 10%. So when you get a credit card, this is an important fucking rule, an important nugget of information that a lot of people don't tell you. If you get a credit card, let's say you get a $10,000 credit card. Don't think of that as $10,000 more dollars for you to spend. Think of it as $1,000 more dollars for you to spend. You only want to spend 10. It's really 9%, like under 10%. But we're gonna keep the math simple. You want to spend 10% or less of your total credit limit. That's all you want to report. If you're spending 10% of your available credit, it'll never hurt your score no matter what. It'll never hurt you. Once you start spending more and more and more, then it gets a little dicey, a little hazy. You get to 30, 40, 50%, that shit is going to hurt your score a lot. Now, once you pay that, what you spent, once you pay it back, and your utilization goes back under 10%, your score will go right back up. The other things are pretty simple. Amount of new credit, this is inquiries. Like, if you've gotten new credit recently, this is why getting a hard pull within the past 3 months is going to kind of hurt your score because that's when it's considered new credit. It's like, oh, you just got credit. So, and that's the other thing. When you get your credit hard pull, other places can see that. They're like, yo, you just got a credit card. You just got an auto loan. We're not about to give you shit. You're paying off a new loan. We need to see how you pay off that loan before we give you another one. Credit mix is just different types of credit. This is never gonna hurt your score, but it can boost it. It's like having an auto loan, a mortgage, a credit card, personal loan. Those are all different types of credit. So having different types, you're basically showing that you pay different people back. Not just I can pay credit card, I can pay credit card. Can you pay back a car loan? Can you pay back a mortgage? Can you if you can pay back everything, then we're like, oh shit, it'll help you. It's not a huge thing, but it's just something to think about. Length of credit history is just how long you've been in a credit game. How old is it? It's an average based on all your open accounts, right? So if you open a credit card 20 years ago and then one today, it'll be the average of that, which would be what, 10 years. So you want your length of credit history to be high, which is why if you've ever had a credit card, you don't want to close it because it's gonna take get rid of the age, and you want to open a credit card as soon as possible. So if you're like 18, 17, as soon as you can get any credit card, just get one, even if it's a store card. Just the age will help out a lot. It's not about the limit, the money on it, or where it can literally be a store card as long as it's on your credit report and it's there for a long ass time. Like I had student loans in my credit report, and I used to want to get rid of them. Like, oh no, student loans, oh my god. Then I realized my student loans have been on my credit report for fucking like 7 years, and that's the oldest account. So they give me a good amount of age. It's actually helping me to have those as long as I'm showing a willingness to pay them. So now that you know how the credit score works, you got to figure out which one of these is the reason why your credit score is so low. It's probably utilization, it is probably payment history, or you have derogatories, you have negative things on your credit report like collections, charges off, stuff like that. If you have negative things on your credit report, let's look at an example of a credit report. Now this is an old ass example. This shit says 2015. This shit's dated as hell. Credit reports don't look exactly like this anymore. They look similar to this, but you'll get the gist of it. It'll just this is it'll have like your personal information, you know, and you can change your personal. Mind you, this is your credit report. This is yours. They're reporting your data. Two things you need to know about that. You don't have to let them report your data. You just don't. You can say, "Hey, stop reporting my data. I don't want y'all to post shit about me," and they'll listen. But the thing is, if your credit reports can't get pulled, you can't get credit cards, you can't get a car loan. So you don't want to do that unless it's a safety thing. But because of that, you have a degree of control over what is reported. But they're also reporting what they believe to be the truth. The burden of proof is on them. So whatever they're reporting on this credit report needs to be accurate. And if anything is wrong, I don't give a fuck if they put spelled your name wrong, one wrong letter, one extra space. You know what I mean? It's not hyphenated proper. Whatever it is, if it's wrong, you can dispute. You can dispute and get them to remove it or change it, no matter what it is. That's kind of how credit repair works because when they put accounts on your credit report, they don't do it right all the time. They almost never do it completely right because who the fuck is checking? They don't really have to. They're probably understaffed and underpaid. They're just doing shit. But most people don't know that, don't think about that. And when most people get, how do you say it? Most of the time when somebody owes money, you think, oh, I got to pay that back because that's your program to think. You're not going to think, fuck y'all, and get it back in blood, right? Your mind doesn't go to that place. And then the thing is that a lot of people don't understand is it's not illegal to owe anybody money. It is not illegal to owe anybody money. If it was, then there would be no such thing as credit cards. There would be no such thing as personal loans, etc. This whole country is in debt, so I don't know why people think it's illegal to just say no. I'm not paying you. Like that's not a crime or anything. You have that right. And again, the burden of proof is on them. So if you have an account on your credit report that's, let's say, negative, let's say this is a collection account, you owe some company, you didn't pay a cable bill one day, and they sent it to collections, boom, it'll be right here on your credit report. It should look similar to this, but sometimes it doesn't. And if it doesn't, again, you can get it removed. If you have collections on your credit report, you can dispute them. You can dispute them directly with the credit bureaus, or you can go to a third party like Credit Karma. There's multiple different ways to dispute, but the gist of it is you can either dispute based on like factual disputing or like fraudulent disputing. There's other shit like Metro too, but we're not gonna get into all of that. But my point is, if there's anything on your credit report that you do not want there, listen to me. Listen, hold on. Walk with me, talk with me real quick. Walk with me, talk with me real quick. If there's anything you don't want on your credit report, it's hurting you, you don't want it there, dispute it. Don't think about anything else. But what if, no, shut the fuck up. There is no what if, there is no but. If there's something on your credit report that you don't want there, it's hurting you, it's a negative thing, it's a derogatory, it's a collection, charge, or whatever. If there's something you don't want there, Dispute it. Get that shit off. Get that shit wiped off. Do not pay debt. Do not pay debt. Do not pay debt. Listen, do not pay debt. You don't have to. And if you pay it off, it's not going to do what you think it's going to do. It's not going to help you. It's not going to remove the debt just because you paid it. That doesn't even happen. So why would you pay it? So, anyway, why your credit score is bad is either you're not utilizing enough credit, you have negative items, dispute those, get them removed. We'll go into disputes in another video. I don't want this to be 30 minutes. So you do those two things, you're in the ballpark. But here's another thing a lot of people don't understand: you need positive accounts on your credit too. You need positive accounts on your credit too. So like, just like there can be a negative account like a collection, there can be a positive account. A credit card that you've paid off on time is a positive is a positive account. Positive accounts help your score a lot. And again, like credit age, you want years of positive credit accounts. Like if you look at this account right here, and you see all these OKs in green, okay. These are all on-time payments. This is positive other than this 30-day late over here. 30-day past due, that's a late payment. You do not want that. So all of these are on-time payments. These will help you. This will not hurt you. So you want your credit report to reflect years of on-time payments. What's an easy way to get that? I'd say rent reporting. If you look into this is an article about it, how to report rent to credit bureaus. There are a lot of different sites that report rent. Some of them will let you backdate it, meaning you make an account on X or Y website. You pay them. It's gonna cost you like $50 to do it, but they will let you go back 2 years to say, hey, I've been paying rent on time for 2 years. So now you have $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 monthly payment. 2 years of that on your credit report is going to shoot your score the fuck up. And you can do that as many times as you want. It costs money, but it's worth it. Like to go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rent reporting websites and just pay them all and say, hey, backdate 2 years of rent payments for me. They'll say, bet, we got you. And then it'll keep going from that day on if you paid a little $5 to $10 monthly fee. So you'll have a lot of on-time payments. I would say get a credit card. Get you some of these accounts. There's a few of them like Stellarfi, there's Self, there's Credit Strong. They're like installment loans. Some of them are like fake credit cards, or like they'll tell the credit bureaus they're giving you a credit card with $2,000, $3,000 limit. They don't give you that, but it's gonna report that. So they'll give you like $10, and it'll report that you're like spending 10 on 2,000, which is really good for your utilization. So that'll shoot your score up. You have these positive accounts that'll shoot your payment history up. You need to so you need to get rid of any negatives. This is how you fix your credit. Step 1, get your credit report. My bad, I should have said this at the beginning. Step 1 is to get your credit report. You get that from, you can go to annualcreditreport.com, you can go to Experian, go to Credit Karma so you can see it. There's other websites, but they'll most likely charge you. Try to get it for free or try to get it for cheap. Get your credit report, look it over, see what's negative and what's hurting your score. Download Experian and Credit Karma and MyFICO, those 3 apps. You should just have them. Just get them. They will help you. So look at your credit report, see what collections, what negatives you have. Get rid of any negatives. Find out how to dispute them, or wait till I put a video out on it. Dispute those and get them wiped off. Add positive accounts like rent reporting. Open at least one credit card. Get these apps like Kickoff, Self. These installment loans that'll help you. You want to have more than 5, really like 8, 9, 10 positive accounts built on your credit. So you have all these good accounts on your credit, no bad accounts on your credit. You got a couple years of payment history on your credit. This will give you a fucking 700 or whatever score if you don't have any negatives, if you don't owe a shit ton of money. That is how you fix your credit in 2025. I'm sorry I didn't go into the nuanced details of here's exactly what you want to put when you dispute this. Like I said, disputes are a whole video. I don't want to make this shit 45 minutes. But yeah, that is how you fix your credit. If y'all want to know more detailed shit, leave comments, ask, like, and subscribe. Y'all know the vibes. But yeah, please fix your credit in 2025. Credit is the gateway to everything. Credit is the way. Credit is how you level up. It's how you become rich. It's how you do everything. Just trust me. I promise. If you don't believe it now because I look like some dude in his living room, that's cool. I understand that. But eventually I'm going to level up. And when I level up and I'm looking back and telling you, I told you so. I gave you the game. I gave you the sauce. I know that this works. I've verified that this works. There are other people who are saying that this works. So just trust and believe. But the thing is, you're gonna have to take a risk at some point. You just are. You're gonna have to put some money up at some point. You're gonna have to trust somebody else at some point. That's just how this game goes, how this world goes. You're not gonna be able to just be alone, do it alone, do what you want to do, and do it your way. I'm sorry, it ain't gonna work. I'm really trying to help y'all get rich. Do I want it to help me in the long run? Yeah, sure. I would like to be helped out too. But I got all this game. I got all this sauce. I watched all the YouTube videos. I listened to all the podcasts. I did the research. I tested these things. So I have this information that's super valuable that people charge money for the shit that I'm telling you right now. It might sound silly, but there are people running courses right now to tell y'all what I'm telling you for free. So anyway, take the information in. Just stay focused. Please stay focused. Sorry this video is a little longer than usual, but the sauce is important. I know I'm long-winded. I know I'm not as linear with my thinking, but so fucking what? Get rich, or at least use this credit system the same way they do. Manipulate it how they do to make your life better. Plan for a better future, wherever it is. But anyway, I'm out. Y'all stay safe. Peace.